What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chishi Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Age gaps in modern dating and relationships. It's a really interesting topic that's taking place all over social media right now in regards to Jalen Green and Drea Michelle. Here's a post that I read recently that says Joe Budden calls out 39-year-old Drea Michelle for potentially expecting a baby with 21-year-old NBA player Jalen Green. You are a predator. You are a predator. That is Joe Budden speaking right there. That's the route he decided to take. I hear the word predator. Two things come to mind. I'm thinking, like, is he talking about the age gap? Or is he more in specific talking about the fact that in a couple of years, the athlete is expected to make upwards of like $200-300+ million. And this could potentially be a strategic, F it, we know what it is, man. She knew what she was doing. He wanted something from her. Let's just cut the shit, man. You guys come here for the coffee anyways.
Put that coffee down.
No, we're about to drink it. And she took advantage of this situation. That's what it is, let's be honest. But more on that later. Let's check out some of these comments, what the people have to say. Now, whether you classify what she did there and what other women like Brittany Renner and many, many other women do as predatorial, depending on the age of that young man, I'll leave that up to you to decide. Now, in the comments, there was a whole nother conversation had about age gaps. Do they matter? Do they not matter? In reality, I think in real life, people don't care. People don't care. I don't think people walk around and see couples with a really huge age gap, and as long as it's illegal, of course, and make a big deal out of it. It's only when it's online and when people are allowed to chime in about their opinions that may serve a narrative that they're trying to push. For example, this first comment from a woman says, "These young men want us 30+ women. I attract young men all the time," she says. Now, I believe her because that's what the studies say. That's the odd thing that happens as women begin to get older and lose eyeballs from men, lose attention from men. This is what the data says, and we've talked about this plenty of times. The interesting thing that happens is when women hit that 30+ mark, 30+, close to 40, younger men start to find them more attractive. I've done other videos where I go deeper into why that may be, but that is the truth. The only problem with this is when a man who also increases in value decides to date younger women because those younger women would rather be with him because of that economic benefit, they have a problem, and all of a sudden they choose to ignore observable reality. Here's another woman who says, if it goes for men, then it goes for women too. And so modern women and men who agree with the whole, there's like this agreed upon, I don't know what that number is, but apparently there's a agreed upon age gap, amount of years that you cannot date another person. I don't know what it is, but they are conflicted right now because it's like, if we're going to say that 30-year-old men are wrong for not dating us and instead dating younger women who are in their mid-20s, then we have to speak against this. It would seem almost hypocritical. It would seem almost like a problem that needs to be solved. Speaking about problems that needs to be solved, we've got to talk about the solution to get your skincare routine in order. And of course, I'm talking about Henley. How do I know that Henley is the #1 skincare product for men? Well, because I tried them out for the first time and they delivered. Listen, when Henley promised to uncomplicate my skincare routine, they came through, man. I use Henley every day, and I'm at the point now where I don't even have to think about it. They make it easy, especially with their instructional card that tells you what product to use and at what time. They didn't only promise to help me with my skin, which
they did, but they also claimed that they had over 500 5-star reviews, and they were right. Yes, 500 5-star reviews from other happy customers. So while you're sitting here watching this video, there are other people leaving their reviews on their positive results and experiences with Teach Henley. What's taking you so long? Listen, guys, I use everything inside that box. From their face wash, exfoliation scrub, morning moisturizer, PM moisturizer. I make sure that when I step out, my skin is healthy, protected, and ready to take on the day. So if you're tired of struggling with your skin and want something that works, hit that link pinned to the top of the comment section and get your first box today. The good news is today, Teach Henley is running a special for my viewers and my audience. Get your first box today and you get 30% off and a free gift. That's 30% off and a free gift. Click that link at the top of the comment section and get your first box of Teach Henley. Trust me, man, you won't regret it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Joe Budden calls out 39-year-old Drea Michelle for potentially expecting a baby with 21-year-old NBA Jalen Green. You are a predator, he says. Let's keep reading some more comments here. This woman says, so he wasn't a predator? Talking about Joe Budden here, this woman, when he dated Sin at 23 and he was almost 40? See, that's the problem. Some people may say, well, that's not the same thing. And now it comes down to, okay, so what's the rule here? There's some rule that nobody knows about. Here's another comment that says, I'm 30 and don't want anything to do with a 21-year-old. It's weird, this woman says. She says it's weird. Another gentleman here chimed in and says, I agree with Joe that it's predatory, but how come he didn't give the same energy to Diddy, who started dating Cassie when she was 19 and he was 37? Selective outrage. Maybe. Another comment here says he's smashing his childhood crush and Drea is smashing her retirement pension. Whoa. I think we have a barista in hand here. Goes on to say, LOL, definitely wild. More on that later. We're going to talk more on that later. Here's another comment that says, give her the same energy y'all give Marcus Houston, ladies. Is a pretty good point. I made a video about that specific situation a while back. We're not going to get distracted here. Let's keep going. Because I don't really want to focus on this. I want to focus on my final point here. Last comment says, same age as her son is wild. And apparently she does have a son who's about the same age. So this is what I want to say. It's obvious that there are a lot of women who take this route of locking down either an up-and-coming artist, and I mean significantly older women who invest, aka manipulate, and plan on kind of using these men who are up and coming as a future retirement plan. It's a real thing. Now, a lot of them fail. And I really think we have all these documentaries on surviving such and such. And I think in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a documentary released. I mean, how many people would watch that? I think a lot of people. Released on women who took advantage of athletes for payday. Now, the man's an adult. He's 21 years old. This is his fault if this is not what he wanted. I don't get why he would want this. But he's a grown man who should be aware enough to be able to control himself. Really should be. When I see stuff like this, I understand why 65% of NBA players go broke. It makes sense. The truth is, man, just because someone makes a lot of money doesn't necessarily mean that that person is wise. That they're making a lot of wise life decisions. It doesn't work that way. And a lot of people usually, there's a term for that too, where you think someone is good in a particular field, and so you just assume that they are expert in other parts of life. And the truth is, it doesn't usually work that way. You have to put intentional effort into making good decisions in all areas of your life, as many areas of your life as possible. What do I mean? This wasn't a smart decision, obviously, on Jalen Green's behalf. And I'm almost 99% sure he wish he didn't have a child like this. And I'm not talking about regretting the actual child, but this is crazy. And again, proves that just because someone is particularly talented in one area or even smart, doesn't mean that they're wise in their perspective and how they approach their life as a whole. There's a lot of humility that people need to reevaluate themselves, control themselves, discipline themselves, and you have to be intentional with that. Listen, guys, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you as always for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.